So there's the baby there. With the heart galloping like that, it means so far so good.
Okay.
Hi elenemfam,
What's happening, elenemfam?
welcome back to another video. My name is Achuma, also known as Letho. Thank you so much family for the love that you have been showing us over the past week since we came back on YouTube. We really appreciate it and we feel good about coming back. And if you are new to the channel, this is the first video that you're watching, you're welcome. It's a strange video for you to click on for the very first time on the channel, but we love you and we appreciate you, and we hope you're going to be part of the elenemfam. And this right here is my husband, who is going to introduce himself.
What is happening, elenemfam? Maybe I just need to re-emphasize the point about the love that we've been receiving, like your words of affirmation and your words of encouragement. It really goes a long way, elenemfam. We really appreciate it. And you know, for the past week, whenever I would see someone on the comment section saying that I love you guys and I missed you guys, I really feel it. Like I really
and that's
believe
your
it.
love language, because words of affirmation.
Yes, I really feel it, and I can believe it, because it's the same way that we feel about you guys. So someone might be saying, "Oh, wow, that's strange. How can you love someone that you've never met?" Guys, love is not something that's tangible. Therefore, you can love based on whatever that makes you love that person. So we really appreciate you guys. But let me just quickly introduce myself. Cham Tilada, also known as Mr. Cham, child of God. People change, but not God. We're just gonna keep it there for today. If you want the full intro, I might just do it in the end, depending on how I feel. But yeah, we just wanna get into this video, guys. It's a video that we've been threading. You've already seen the thumbnail.
Honestly, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, throughout the day, actually, I've really been feeling like mixed emotions about it. At some point, I was feeling heavily hearted. At some point, I was feeling nervous. So yeah,
So today we are going to share a story. We did mention on our previous video that we lost a baby.
Yes,
last year.
That was not clickbait.
Yeah.
But maybe even before we start with actually what happened in that whole story, we do want to say that this is something that happened last year in May.
So it's been some time, and we gave ourselves time to heal before coming here on YouTube. Or else, had we shot this video in May or June, we were just gonna come here crying like, you know. So we have healed, we have gone to therapy.
I wouldn't say healed. We are still in the process of healing. God is still helping us, but we are not here to seek sympathy, but we are just sharing this story so that also maybe someone out there is going through a similar situation.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. There's a whole lot of other people that are actually going through the same thing. Some are worse. So yeah, that's really the reason why we are sharing this video. And we don't want to be associated with these kind of things, but also we can't sit and not talk about them.
Yes. There's a lot of other things that are going well in our life right now. Things are looking up, which we will share in due course. But this is the chapter that we wanted to close properly before we move on to other things that are happening in our lives. Yes.
So
in Jan, so I missed my periods. I missed my periods, and then
so we are there. It's our first. We didn't know what to do. Like, okay, you know what? Let's just book an appointment with a doctor.
Our GP.
Our GP. Yeah. We go to our GP the following Saturday for like some confirmatory results, and then they do the blood test and whatever. We just got there literally and said we took a pregnancy test. What do we do now?
Like, we were not sure what's the next step. Do you start taking prenatal vitamins? Like, what happens next? We had no idea what happens next. And at that time when we went to the GP, we were under the impression that we were 2 weeks pregnant. And we're like, yeah, no, we're 2 weeks pregnant, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the doctor was like, when was your last period? And I told him, it's like, okay, actually you are like 6 weeks and some days pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Already a month has gone already.
Yeah. So when we discovered that it was 6 weeks, we're like, okay, cool. We come back. We continue with our lives as a pregnant couple now. And then the following Saturday, we decide to go for a run. I mean, you know, pregnancy goals. We're going for a run. I was going for a longer distance, but we left the house together in the morning. Yeah.
We were busy. Oh my God, we were so excited because I remember we even took a picture before.
Yeah.
Like before we took separate routes, we ran a bit together and then we took a picture.
Some of these things we're actually just gonna paste them here. The picture we might just paste it here.
If we find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we took a picture. I was doing 5 kilometers, you were doing 21. And then we went for a run.
And then as we are going for a run.
Yes, so we went for a run, and then on my way back, I think I was left with about 300 to 200 meters.
Coming home.
Yeah. I felt like I needed to pee. I was like, oh my God, I need to pee. But I was like, okay, at least I'm so close to home now. So I was just running faster to get home. And I just, that feeling went away suddenly and I felt wet. I didn't feel myself pee on myself, but I did feel wet. And I was just laughing it off. I was like, oh my God, I was running home and I was just laughing. I was like, oh my God, pregnant people actually do pee on themselves.
Yeah, so, you know.
And I couldn't wait to tell my husband when I got home. I was like, I can't wait for Mbulelo to get home so that I can tell him that I actually peed on myself. So, yeah, I get home. Then I ran the bath water and I was getting ready to take a bath and I took off my pants. That's when I realized that actually I didn't pee on myself. There was blood.
This is a week after we had gone to the doctor. Yes. 2 weeks after the initial
test.
Yeah.
Then I see blood. That's when I panicked. I called my husband and I told him that I'm bleeding.
Yeah, geez. You know, as I was running, so what I normally do is that I know that my wife wouldn't call me if I'm running. She wouldn't call me if there's not an emergency, and that's why I'll take my phone with me. You know, even though like I don't use it tracking, but I know that she'll only call me if it's an emergency. I was up around 9.4 kilometers. I know exactly like when she called me, and then she's like, "Hey, I'm seeing some blood here." I'm telling you, when I received that phone call, it's in the middle of nowhere. I literally sat down where I was. I was weak on my knees. I sat down, I prayed, and then I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But even that prayer, you know, when you're praying, but you are so anxious, like you don't know what's going on. So I took an Uber, and yeah, as I was taking the Uber, I was praying throughout, and I got home. When I came in, I saw the pants that had blood because obviously you had showered at that time. And yeah, when we saw the blood, what happened after that?
Yeah. So when you came home, I was also like, immediately after I called you, I was also praying, and I think for the first time, I was speaking to the baby. Our baby's name is Letho&Mbulelo.
Yeah, hence the t-shirts.
Hence the t-shirts. The baby's father, the baby daddy, named the baby Letho&Mbulelo.
And yeah, which means so when I named the baby, it was like we're gonna say Letho&Mbulelo, here's God's love. So it's like God's love, evidence of God's love. Yeah, that's basically what we thought.
Yeah. So for the first time I was speaking to Nalu and I was just saying, baby girl, like we can't lose you. I was praying. I was also praying to God. I was like on the floor. I don't remember like in my life praying such prayers. I was praying and I was speaking to Nalu, asking her not to leave us. And then Mbulelo got here and I started to calm down because being alone in that situation was very hectic for me. And then Mbulelo got here and then we called my midwife. We had decided that we were going to give birth at Genesis. So after consulting with the GP, we were like, okay, we're gonna give birth at Genesis and then give you a midwife. So yeah, and then we had a midwife, called the midwife, and the midwife said we need to go to a hospital or to a doctor's office because they don't have sonars and stuff, so they won't be able to check what's going on. And then yeah, we went to the GP.
Yeah.
Lucky enough, he does open on Saturdays. So yeah, we went to the GP, and when we got there, we just explained. We're like, hey, remember we were here last week telling about the pregnancy, so we're back.
And he said it probably is a miscarriage. That's what he said. He said, you know what, if it's blood, it probably is a miscarriage, and that's one of the reasons why we don't even investigate like miscarriages, because they happen a lot in the first trimester, and also we don't even advise people to tell anyone in the first trimester to share the news, because they are so common. You know, yeah, as much as he was being honest about it, because he's a very nice doctor, we still go to him even today, but that at that point, like, that's not what we wanted to hear. And then he was very helpful. He said, okay, you know what, you guys can actually go to a gynae, and most gynaes are not open on Saturdays, but there was this one that he knew, and then he called them, and then he said, okay, you must expect these people. We went there, and when we even on our way, we're like, okay, you know what, this is gonna be a miracle, because even though this doctor is saying it's probably a miscarriage, we know that it's not gonna be a miscarriage. You get to the gynae.
So we got to the gynae, and went inside. Oh my god, I was so nervous, like I didn't know what to expect. Went inside, and then they said the reason why the doctor, the GP, said we need to go to a gynecologist is because he only has the abdominal ultrasound. He doesn't have the vaginal one, because I was less than 10 weeks, so they need to insect it inside. So I went to the gynecologist so that they can do that. They did the ultrasound, and for the first time I had Nalu's heartbeats. So yeah, that moment I'll never forget. That moment I cried so hard, like just hearing her heartbeats and just thinking, oh my god, there's literally life inside of me. That feeling was so amazing, and I was so grateful to God that Nalu was still alive, and the doctor couldn't tell me where the blood was coming from, and at that time it had stopped. Thank God. We were just so happy, and I couldn't wait to go outside and tell my husband that the baby is fine and the blood has stopped.
Yeah, because remember, it's still during COVID time, so I'm sitting outside in the car, and said I couldn't come in, so she would literally just go inside alone. So I'm sitting there, I'm praying, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just there, like, listening to music, but I don't even know what song I'm listening to. And I'm praying as well. I'm anxious, but then there's this hope inside of me saying that no, she's gonna come back, and they're gonna say the baby is there. And when she came, and as she was walking out, and I saw that she wasn't crying, so I'm like, okay, the baby is there, right? And then she says, yeah, the baby's alive. Yeah. That was such a relief.
Yes, but the doctor had told me that I am actually having a miscarriage, and I should expect more blood to come out in the next 24 hours. And she had said that if it does come out, I mustn't even go to a hospital or come to her office. I must just take a pregnancy test, and if it does come back negative, then it means that the miscarriage is now completed. So yeah, and then she also said that if it doesn't happen within the next 24 hours, I need to be on bed rest for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, then I can have my follow-up appointment with her, just so we can check on what's going on.
So yeah, so in the basically she said she's expecting it to happen in the next 24 hours. But even though it might not happen in the 24 hours, it might still happen in the 2 weeks. But if it doesn't happen in the 2 weeks, then we can go for the follow-up appointment.
Yes.
and then she was on bed rest. We didn't even know like what bed rest was, and it wasn't even really properly explained. Like, okay, so the 24 hours passed. We like, thank God the 24 hours is gone. And then on the 13th day of the 14 days that was prescribed to be on bed rest, we see blood again.
Yeah, so I go to the bathroom to pee, and then boom, there's blood. Like,
sure.
And now this time around it's like, sorry guys, TMI, but it was like clots.
Yeah.
They were just coming out, and I was like, oh.
Like they were lumpy and a bit dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
So more blood was coming out.
Let me see your chain, baby.
Thank you. More blood was coming out. Called my husband, I showed it to him, and yeah, so it meant now that we have to take a pregnancy test, like the doctor had said. She had said we don't even have to go to hospital, we just have to take a pregnancy test. We took a pregnancy test, and
did you take it on the Friday? The following day?
No, we took it on a Friday.
Or on the same day?
Same day that we saw the blood.
Yes.
We took the pregnancy test and it came back positive. But now the
second line
was very, very faint. Compared to because the first time around, like when we took the test, it was like a solid positive. So the line was very faint, and we're not sure. Didn't give us no joy. Yeah.
Didn't give us no joy.
I kept on looking at that line and not understanding.
Hoping it was gonna grow. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we decided that we were gonna take another test the following day.
Oh, because that one, you know what? We had taken that one later on in the day.
Yes.
So we were like, you know what? There's a lot of factors. Yeah, whatever. So let's wait.
Water,
yeah.
Also
so it makes sense. So let's wait for the next day. We're gonna take the first urine. Take the test. Same thing again. Line is faint. It's a bit better than the previous one.
I didn't sleep well that night
I remember
because
how,
I just wanted to wake up and take the test. You know what?
So it was still faint, but it was better than the previous day's one.
It was better, but it was still like not giving me much hope.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't definite.
Yeah, so we decided that we were gonna go see a different gynecologist.
But we started on Google first. We started on Google just to check, like, okay, what does it mean? And then they said, well, listen.
You know Dr. Google.
Yeah, listen. It might mean that the miscarriage has happened because we saw the clots, right? So Google is saying it may have happened, but because the hormone is still there, it's still. So the fact that the line is faint means that it could be wearing off, but there's still a bit of trace of the hormone in the blood. So we decided, okay, the only way we have to go to a gynae.
Yeah, because I think they were saying you need to test again in a week or so.
Yeah, like a week.
So we have to wait for a week. So we searched for another gynae. We found one and we went to the gynecologist on Monday. The next Monday. And then they checked and boom, Nadu was there.
Still there.
Still fine. Everything, heart rate was fine. Everything was fine with her. Oh, another
like, hey, this is a miracle, baby. We're like, this baby has seen a lot.
Honestly, we thought we were gonna come back here on YouTube and tell a different story, but anyways, Nelly was fine, and we were so excited. Told my husband, and we went on.
So the doctor prescribed some pills, and then we got the pills, and then she started using the pills. And then when she. I think
also a few days after using, because I was supposed to be on those pills for 30 days. I think like maybe 5 days after using them, I bled again. Like while I was using the pills.
Yeah, and it was a bit every time she would bleed, the blood, whatever it would be different. Yeah. So this time around it was a bit brownish, And at this time, guys, now we're like, okay, we've been given pills and this thing is happening again. Okay, what's happening? This is what I said, and I was really, really getting impatient. I was getting annoyed, and I was really it was so painful to having to go through the same thing again. And then I said to God, whatever is supposed to happen, can it just happen now so that we don't hang on to this and it eventually pans out the way we
the
Yeah.
way it seemed like it was
seemed
gonna
like it
end.
was gonna end.
Yeah, and also, oh sorry, Ben.
Yeah, and no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say during that time we were not posting on YouTube. So guys, you must understand that sometimes people when they're posting, it's not because they're neglecting their channel.
When they're not posting.
When they're not posting
Yeah.
on YouTube. It's not that we're neglecting our channel, but we want to give you the best version of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we just wanted to deal with whatever was going on, and then when we have dealt with that, then we can just come back on YouTube.
Yeah. So after we made that prayer to say, God, do what has to happen here. Just make it happen the way it's supposed to happen. Nothing ever happened after that. The pregnancy was now normal.
Was now normal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like we went second month, third month. It was fine, and we were so relaxed about it now.
Yeah.
4 months, and then I think that's when we told our parents like that we were pregnant because
we were getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
And in this time, because the doctor had said that they normally recommend that you don't tell your loved ones what's going on. You know, after now we saw that okay, everything is going well, and we were getting more comfortable. We decided to start telling people, you know, because obviously even the bump was starting to show, and we decided to tell our parents as well. This is something that we actually regret that we left it so long, that we only told our parents later on.
Yeah.
It's not something that we would ever do again, because either way, like the thinking was that the doctor said that you don't tell them because they don't have to know.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that there is.
You still wanna let them know even if something bad happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think if I was to advise us in terms of what to do, I would say tell the ones that you think you would tell if anything was to happen. What's the point of hiding it and then you tell them when something has happened? So fortunately, we were able to tell them while everything was still going okay, and we actually gonna post a video of we did record of their reactions when we told them that we were pregnant.
Yeah, so even at church, I remember it was the 16th of May. Went to church, decided to wear this tight dress, and I was showing off my bum. Went to church that day, came back.
Maybe the reason why you mentioning the part that you were wearing a tight dress, because it's not like you hadn't been going to church.
Yeah.
You were, she was going to church, but she would wear like loose fitting dresses.
So a lot of people didn't know I was pregnant up until that day, that Sunday, on the 16th. Went to church, came back. When I came back that night, I started feeling like cramps, but they were not like major, like they didn't say anything about going to the hospital, you know. So it was something that I could handle, but yeah, I was just not sure about what was going on. So I decided to go and lie down, just to see what's happening, and to see if they are going to go away or not, especially with the history of bleeding and not. So I decided to chill in bed. But when I was going to bed, I was like, you know what, actually, let me just go to sleep. You know, I'll wake up, maybe tomorrow morning I'll wake up feeling better. And before going to sleep, I decided to go to the bathroom to pee before going to bed. And when I got there, that's when there was blood.
Again, after so many months.
Yeah, of not seeing anything and just being counseled. At that time I was already 5 months pregnant. So we rushed to hospital.
And I think, sorry babe, I think one of the things that actually was very shocking was that they said in the second trimester, it's
chances
only
of miscarriage are very low.
very low. So it's only like 1% of people that get miscarriages or whatever number. So we're like, okay, we're out of the woods now. So when we saw the blood, it was really, really out of the blue.
I was so shocked. We rushed to hospital, the nearest hospital. When we got there, they said unfortunately, because my treating doctor is not from that hospital, they cannot assist. They'll just give me IV fluids and like I won't see a doctor. I was like, okay, then if that's all you're gonna do, it's fine, let's just go to the hospital where my doctor is based. We went to that hospital, and yeah. On our way there, the cramps got worse. I was now really in pain, and also I needed to pee, like now I was so pressed, now, but I was so scared, like for my husband to stop the car, because I felt like if I pee now, I might just
pee out the baby.
Yes, I might just have to catch Nandu,
Yeah.
So we went to hospital, got there, told them that I need to pee, and they said, yeah, no, just wait. They undressed me, they checked BP and whatever, and then they gave me this thing to pee on, this big thing to pee on. And I think, like when I looked at it, I peed for such a long time, and I felt like it was like 5 liters of pee or something. I peed, and there was also like blood and clots that were just coming out. It was so traumatic. And then they checked me, and they said my womb was open, and a lot of things, it seems like a lot of things are gonna come out. The pain was still getting worse, and at that time
so they said it was a miscarriage happening, and there's nothing they could do to stop it.
Yeah,
now,
they said it's a pending miscarriage. It's an active miscarriage. Active miscarriage.
That will drive you crazy. Like when they saying there's nothing, like we asked, okay, the baby is not out as yet. Can we not do anything to stop the baby from coming out? They said nope. Let's just wait and see what's gonna happen.
And with the pain, that's when because my stomach was also like getting hard with the pain, and I was like, oh my god, this is what people describe as contractions. So that's when I realized that I was actually like in active labor. So yeah, they gave me like what did they do, like a drip, and then they told me that I'm getting admitted.
It was real. And maybe just to go back, so when we were just the same week actually, so I think it was on a Tuesday, we had gone for a visit. That's when we knew the gender actually. That's when we knew the gender of the baby. We learned, and then so everything was fine. We had just gone for a checkup, and the gynae even said, this baby is big now, she can actually go to school, and we discovered the gender.
When we went for the checkup, the doctor said everything is fine. Like on a Tuesday and boom, on a Sunday, this was happening, and it was such a shock to us. I got admitted. They told my husband that he couldn't stay.
So because of COVID again, so when they took her away, here I am. I'm also there, because now you were on a wheelchair, right?
No, on that bed.
On the bed, on the stretcher. On the stretcher. So I'm there as well, following. And then as I'm about to enter the door, they say, no, sorry, you can't go in. I was like, what? Are you being serious? I can't go in. And then they're like, no, sorry, you're not allowed, she's gonna COVID and all those things, but she's in good hands. I lost it. Not that I was causing drama, it's just that I felt like, okay, how am I gonna just leave my wife here and leave my child or my baby just like this? So you're saying I must go home. So I sort of spoke to the doctor and said that the doctor said, sorry man, there's nothing that we can do for you. So I sort of chilled on the other side, and then they actually chased me away. They said, no sir, you can't stay here as well, so you're gonna have to leave. And then I went to the car. I said to the car, I was like, there's no point in me sitting in the car, let me just go home.
So now I was in labor, but I wasn't even sure if it was normal labor because I've never experienced labor pains before, and honestly at some point I thought I was just gonna die. I remember I was crying, I was praying. I called our pastors, I called Gogo. I don't know why I even called them because it's not like they are doctors. Like I just wanted to call I just wanted to speak to someone, and then as because I had my own separate room and I was just alone then, and then I was crying like not loud, but it got to a point where I was like loud. Where I was like, you know what, I don't care who can hear me, I don't even care, like I felt like I was losing my baby. Then I stopped crying. Then I got to a point of total surrender. I was like, God, I'm surrendering my life to you. If it's my life that you're taking, if it's the baby's life, then I surrender everything to you. And I remember I was singing, you are Alpha and Omega, and I was singing out loud. I didn't care if anyone could hear me. I was just singing, and I think when I was singing that, I got to a moment where I was so calm. Like I was in pain, but I was able to sing, and I was at peace for some reason. Like I was at peace. I was like, okay, God, yeah, if it's happening, you're the Alpha, you're the Omega. It started with you. Life starts with you, and if it's gonna end, then I know it's still you. Like I have no doubts. Like I don't think it's the devil's work or anyone's work. You know, I have given my life to you, and this is you. So let your will be done. You know, I was just singing until the morning. I was in labor the whole night.
The whole night from 10 o'clock, because I remember we got there around 10 o'clock at night. And throughout the night, she was in pain, even drips, like they would literally put drips, but the pain wouldn't go away. Yeah,
and then my doctor actually didn't come. I had to change doctors there and there, in a gynecologist. And then that guy was such a nice guy. He came. So when the doctor came, he checked, like he was checking if I'm dilated or not, or what was going on. And as he was checking me, my water broke.
Now this is in the morning.
Now this is around like 7. I think it was 6:30 or 7 a.m. So like at 6:30 or so, my water broke. That's when I knew that, you know what, it's not turning back now, because like my water is gone, you know. And then the nurses came. Then I had to push. I think after pushing twice, Nalu came out, and that was it. That's how we lost our baby.
Yeah, and that time, remember I had to come home, and I'm sitting here. I can't even go. Like I didn't even sleep. Like I just sat on top of the bed, and I was just sitting there. Obviously, like I was just lying on the bed, but I didn't switch off the lights. Like it felt so strange that I was here. I felt like I was a failure. That my wife and my baby, they're that side, and here I am. I'm just sitting. I'm not doing anything, because even the prayers I was doing, they were not solid prayers. Like it was just a prayer, and then I would get distracted, but then it got to a point when I could see now that it was 2 o'clock, nothing, and 3 o'clock I started making some prayers to say that, you know what, God, let's make a deal here. I can see that this thing is not going according to how we thought it was gonna end. It looks like it's taking a different turn. And mind you, I had things that I thought, and this is what sometimes happen when you are hoping for something. I had things, I think about three signs that I thought were saying the child is it's gonna be 9 months. Because remember, the first time you called me, it was at 9 kilometers. So I'm thinking 9 months. And then I remember this other one time again, I think a week later or whatever, but during that time again, I went for a run, but then my watch was not tracking. And then I only realized a kilometer later. So I was going for a 10 kilometer. So I'm on my 10 kilometer route. It wasn't tracking, and then I had to start over. And then when I finished, it was 9 kilometers again. I was like, hey, here's this 9 kilometers. So I'm like, God, I see what you're doing here. So when it wasn't happening like that, I was like, okay, God, please, if I have to choose between my wife and the baby, as much as I had bonded with the baby, like I had really bonded so much, you know, I think at that point actually she could recognize my voice because she would move whenever I would talk or put my hand on the mother's tummy. So, but I was like, you know what, if I have to choose between the two, I will choose my wife because I can still have more babies with her, as opposed to losing both of them. I was like, no, I can't afford to lose both of them. So God, can you please keep my wife? And after praying that prayer, I think I eventually fell asleep. And I don't know how it happened though, that because I remember receiving a phone call from Mumfundis at 4 o'clock. I don't know if I had tried calling them.
I think it's because I had been speaking to Mumfundisi.
Yeah.
Because I think we spoke at 3 a.m. or something.
Oh, yes. So he calls me at around 4. He's asking what's going on. I was like, okay, I don't. And I think I dozed off for just a short while. And I was sleeping. I don't know if it was a dream or what. But then it's still, something is still playing in my head that, okay, it's been done now. The baby has come out. You have survived, but the baby didn't survive. You know. So, but that happened in my dreams. And so when you called me around now 7 o'clock.
Because my battery died, so I had to ask this other nurse to borrow me her phone so that I can call you. And I remember like calling me and telling you that Unalu Abaseko.
Yeah, and I wasn't even. I think because of that short stint of sleep that I had, and then I had that sort of revelation or whatever you call it. I sort of was expecting, but I was grateful that you were alive.
Yeah.
And then I had to wait for visiting hours.
Yeah.
Even then, I still had to wait for visiting hours, so I couldn't just go.
Yeah. And I just remember like when I told you, because part of me was like, do I want to tell you over the phone? I mean, like it may seem like
a bit insensitive. Yeah.
But I was like, actually, I don't want you to drive all the way to the hospital thinking that there's gonna be good news. You know, I don't know. For some reason, after it happened, I felt peace.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, it has happened, and I was like, okay, this is it. You know, it has happened, and obviously, I was not happy. But when it happened and you came, I was fine. I didn't even cry. I remember my doctor recommended or prescribed a psychologist. And then, you came and you visited, and the other visitors came as well.
I visited all, because there's three slots of visiting hours, so I'd come in the morning, lunch and
the other one you were not even supposed to come, because when you came like with Mfundisi later on, they were like, no, this slot doesn't exist anymore. And actually I'm so grateful that you guys came, because all along I was in my own room, so they moved me to a maternity ward afterwards
with
other mothers, and others were like not in the same room as I, but like I could hear them like on the corridors, like they were in active labor about to give birth, and they were gonna give birth to their babies who were alive, and they were gonna take their babies home. And that's when it hit me that, oh my God, Nalu is gone and we're not gonna get to take her home, and we will never see her again. I think that's when I started crying, and then the nurse came and said, I have visitors. When you guys came, I just wanted to go home. Honestly, I didn't even understand why they were still keeping me in hospital, because
it's done. What I was here for, it's done.
Nalu was gone, so they were. I don't know why they still wanted to check me. You know, I was just crying. I remember asking things, but I was just like, I didn't even pay attention to. He was like, baby, just take me home. Like,
and we had to convince you to stay. Yeah, like,
sure.
no, you can't go.
Like I was just wanted to share the story. And it's so crazy that even guys, be careful when you make these pregnancy rumors or assumptions, because even before I fell pregnant, here on YouTube people will say, oh my god, do I spot a bump? Even if you're just shooting and you're shooting on a full stomach, and someone will just assume that you're pregnant. Even when after losing the baby, we're trying to post content, people will still say, oh my god, I see something, is that a bump?
Yeah, so while we were busy mourning the death of, the loss of our baby, people were still making some speculations. Like while people were still just busy making speculations, we're actually dealing with the loss of our baby. Even I remember the vlog that we posted, we were in therapy at that time, and people were saying she looks pregnant. She wasn't pregnant, she had just lost the baby that time. So yeah,
that's
but
so
it's
hard.
not, yeah.
Reading those comments, it's so hard, guys, I won't lie. Can I ask that you stop?
Yeah, but people, there are people that will stop. The people that will stop are the people that don't do it anyway.
Yeah.
But the ones that want to be right. What do you gain from this thing of you being the one that found out? Oh my God, I knew it. All those things. But yeah, one Bible verse that we wanted to just share with you before we close this video. We actually are gonna share in terms of how this whole thing has changed us, has changed our lives. We're gonna be sharing a video on that, but I just want to read a scripture that is from second. This is my.
I'm about to take the remote.
Yeah, I wanted to take the remote. So the scripture is on 2 Samuel, verse. I think it's in verse 16. 2 Samuel, chapter 12. Verse 16. Now this is when David's son was sick. Okay. 2 Samuel, chapter 12, verse 16. It starts from verse 16. It says, David begged God to spare the child. He went without food and lay all night on the background. This is the NLT version. The elders of his household pleaded with him to get up and eat with them, but he refused. Then on the 7th day, the child died. David's advisors were afraid to tell him, and then he wouldn't listen. Okay, they were whispering. He wouldn't listen to the reason why the child was ill. They said, well, what drastic thing will he do when we tell him the child is dead? When David saw them whispering, he realized what had happened, and he asked, is the child dead? They replied, yes, he is dead. Then David got up from the ground, washed himself, put on lotion, changed his clothes. He went to the tabernacle and worshipped the Lord. After that, he returned to the place and was served food and ate. His advisors were amazed. We don't understand you, they told him. While the child was still living, you wept and refused to eat. But now that the child is dead, you have stopped your mourning and you are eating again. David replied, I fasted and wept while the child was still alive, for I said perhaps the Lord will be gracious to me and let the child live. But why should I fast when he is dead? Can I bring him back again? I will go to him one day, but he cannot return to me.
Amen.
Now, this verse, as much as you know, when you pray and you do everything that's in your power, you know, I think there's a level of peace that comes with it. Obviously, you're still gonna feel the pain. But once you know that, you know what, it has happened, nothing I can change. So it kept us going. With us going, we prayed and we went to therapy and all those things. So I guess we don't really have something powerful to say, guys, on this video.
So we're just sharing the story in case you relate. I don't know, like we just want to share, close the chapter properly, and move on.
And then we bring banging content.
And then we bring like some fun, nice content, not. Sorry guys for your loss.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry for losing your job.
Exactly.
You know?
You've been sorry. You've really been sorry.
But yeah,
we do appreciate you,
it, but
you know, sympathizing with us, empathizing with us.
yeah. I think this is where we're gonna end it.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna end it, and we will see you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you on the other side.
Bye.
I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be able. So I must tell her to give you some meat. Nah, didn't you have enough meat for the day, man? Yeah.
You had meat for lunch, baby.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying you have meat for lunch. So you must charge your phone.
What?
Kind of demanding, aren't you? Know?
She doesn't have a phone.
Well, said she's got a phone, but apparently I wasn't supposed to say that. I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. I didn't know. You didn't say I mustn't tell your mother. Yeah.